Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. So this video is going to be uploaded close to the update video I just posted. It's not going to be a month like last time because, like I said in the last video, I have a track day on May 22nd. Today is May 6th, and you see where I'm at. Fuel cell stuff, I don't even know if I told you exactly what I have, so I'll show you that first, and then I'll show you my progress so far. So I'm running a FCS race 5-gallon fuel cell, and I did change the mounting up a little bit from how I had it in the first video. I'm using these factory bolts here, but then I had it coming through these holes right here, but the tank was sliding left and right, so I ended up cutting a piece of it off and bending it. I'm not sure what the angle is, and I brought it right through the factory seatbelt bolt hole. So now it's mounted on solidly. It doesn't move left and right at all. Also over here, this is where I'm going to mount the first fuel pump, which is going to take fuel from the tank and push it up to a surge tank. So I'll put 2 rivet nuts here, and there's going to be 2 bolts coming down here that's going to hold the bracket. I'll show you that in 1 second. This is the bracket I just came up with. These holes right here on the side are what's going to mount into the frame rail. The 2 on the end are what is going to be mounting into the body of the car. I'm going to be running this Osiris fuel pump. It's the same as a Bosch 044. I got this on a really good deal. This whole setup with all the fittings and everything is like 80 bucks. So I want to try it out. The filter is reusable, so I wanted to get a bracket that held the filter and the pump together. I bought a different one off eBay, just an aluminum bracket, but it was for like a dual fuel pump, so the K-tune filter that I had wouldn't fit, so I just picked this up instead. So this is going to be mounted like that. I did the little dimple dies just to take a little bit of weight off of it. So that's going to be the pre-pump, I guess you would call it. And then I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to use this or not. This is a Bosch 044 pump, and this is a cheap surge tank. And then it's got -6 fittings on top. I want to run hard lines instead of the AN lines, because I think that it'll just look nicer and everything won't move around, and I won't have to worry about the lines sagging at all. But this is what I want to set up. If I'm not able to use this, I'm just going to run that Osiris fuel pump straight to the rail for now until I pick up a better surge tank. This surge tank was like 30 bucks or something, but I wanted to see, but I'm not sure if it's going to hang down too low, and I don't want it to hang down low in case I go off track or hit a curb. I don't want it to be hitting the fuel. I'm going to be running all 3/8 hard line, so I have 50 feet of this. Don't mind the mess. I have, so this is the K-tune fuel filter I was going to run, but that's way too small, and this is the bracket I bought off of eBay, which I'm not going to be using. I also have this -6 K-tune filter that I'm going to use over by the fuel rail. I'm going to be using inline fuses for the pump, and they're going to be ran off of relays. So right now I'm just going to work on cleaning that bracket up and coat it with some paint so it doesn't rust, and then I'll get that mounted up, and then we'll work on figuring out a solution for that if that's going to be something that we end up doing. I did get the fuel pump and filter mounted. Right here, these 2 are going into the floor of the car. I'm using some Downstar bolts with the washers, so it looks nicer. Then just 2 bolts coming in. Over here, there's 2 bolts going into the frame rail. I rivet nutted these. This right here is that bracket that I showed you with the dimple dies in there. I painted that black. So this is in here pretty strong. It doesn't flex at all. So this is a 10 AN fitting. It's going to come around to the front of the fuel cell and go into here. I'm probably going to use a flex line for that. And then this is going to be the feed. So that's probably going to do like a U-bend and come through the little channel right here. And then back this way. And then hopefully I can mount that surge tank in this area. I want to mount everything under the car because just in case of a fire, I don't want to get burnt to death. So hopefully that'll fit down here. If not, I'll just take that feed and go straight to here. I may just make a break here in case I change it later on, but we'll see how that mounting of the surge tank goes. So I decided to use the surge tank. So I just took this level here and put it to the bottom of the frame rail and to the lowest part of this fuel cell, and it does sit up in there without crossing this level. So I think we should be good from it hitting. I feel like I'm gonna mount it in this area right here, like where the stock fuel pump was. I'm probably gonna have to lose the cover hardware, but I modified the surge tank a little bit. Aluminum brazed these 3 L brackets on here. I know it looks like crap right now, but I'll clean this up. I'm just waiting for this to cool down. So it came with these, but this was to mount it vertically where the fuel pump will be on top, but I'm mounting it like this. I already talked to a couple companies and they said it would be fine as long as this sits level. So the fuel pump will sit here. We'll have the return from the engine coming in, the fill from the tank, and then the overflow back to the tank. So as soon as this cools down, I'm gonna sand this down, repaint it, and clean it up. So I made a little bit of progress. Here's the vent line. This is pretty much the same way it's hooked up from factory. There's no valve or anything here. I just checked all the stock stuff that I have still. So it's just push the lock fitting. I put this worm clamp on here just for extra security. There's one over here also. This is the factory fill. I have the FCS Race 90 that goes here, but I have to trim it because it's for this car and 92, 95 Civic. This fitting up here, this is going to be the return from the surge tank. So here's the surge tank here. I had to do a bunch of trimming on the brackets. It's long screws in here right now, so it's kind of hanging about 1 inch lower than it normally would hang, but I wanted to show you. I did take a level from the sump on there to the bottom of the car, and you can see it clears, and it's still going to go up another inch. It's going to sit like that once everything's in place, but I just wanted to make sure all the bolt holes that I made line up. So I'm going to pull this down now, paint this, and then install the fuel pump and the fittings so we can start running some lines. Here's the surge tank bolted into place. The fuel filter, or the fuel pump, and the fittings on the top are in. It's probably going to be a tight squeeze to get the piping in there, but hopefully I only have to do that once and I don't get any leaks. This is secured with 6 10mm bolts. I also ran the feed line from the tank right here around to there. It's got a little bolt here holding it up so it doesn't sag. May put a spacer in between so the threads don't show. But yeah, it's coming along pretty good. So little update before I end this video. Starting to paint the subframe with the black Pour 15 paint. So hopefully this comes out as well as the engine bay. I still have to paint the battery tray and a couple more brackets. Good, I'll show you my progress on the fuel cell. So, capped. This is the feed line. It comes around to the Osiris fuel pump, out of here, hard line through the filter to the feed in the surge tank, which is this one here. Then we have this blue fitting, which I've switched out, but it still seems really loose. and this is the second fitting I put on there. The other one was just like it, but that goes to the overflow. Put on the FCS race fill, and if you could see behind there, there is the overflow line right there for the gas tank. Come back here, I have my return from the engine, which is this black fitting. Comes right here to a hard line all the way up front, and then the feed line out of this Bosch fuel pump is this one hard line straight all the way up to the front. I used the factory brackets off of the little plastic holder that was here, and there's 2 cushion clamps holding the lines, if you can see those right here, with a 10mm bolt going in between to hold them, and have the brake lines ran right through them so it doesn't hit it all. But this is pretty solid. I don't think that's coming down. There's 3 of them underneath the car, and 1 all the way towards the front here. So I'll just have the lines coiled off because I want to get that subframe put back in and figure out exactly where these are going to run before I cut them. Alright, so that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. Hopefully I get this subframe done today or tomorrow so I can get ready to mount that up and finish the fuel lines all the way. And then we can get the motor put in and then check and see if we have any leaks in the fuel system. I don't think I'm going to make it to my track day that was going to be this Sunday coming up. Today's Monday. I just didn't want to really rush the car and kind of just take it out there untested and catch a fuel leak or something stupid happens and then I'm 200 miles away from home and have to get the car towed. But there's another track day in about a month. If I make it, I make it. If not, not a big deal. Just kind of excited to try to get this car back together. There's still a lot that I want to get done to it, but one thing at a time. So if you have any questions about what's going on here, feel free to leave them down in the bottom and I'll definitely get back to you. And until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Back at you with the real